Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin appears to have suffered a scary chest injury on this play tonight on Monday Night Football. It's believed he received 9 minutes of CPR on the field prior to being taken to the hospital. We have sports medicine specialist Dr. Aneesh Garg on with us today to help us break this injury down.
All right, guys. Hey, it's Aneesh Garg here again with Dynamic Athlete and Traveling Sports Talk. We're going to go over an unfortunate incident that happened tonight between the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals. So number 3, Damar Hamlin is a safety on the right. T. Higgins is the wide receiver on the left. And you're going to see here as we come through the play, the direct trauma right there, right shoulder to the chest of Damar Hamlin, and you'll see really sort of a rather innocuous play, a regular football tackle. We don't really see very much coming through here. So if you're looking right through here, at this point, nothing, and everything looks like a regular football play. It's only at this point does he go down and just collapse straight down. So if we rewind this a little bit here, you'll see he makes the tackle, and then he's able to get up with his own power, and then it's only after a second here that he collapses. So what happened? Well, that's direct trauma, also known as comedo cordis, resulting in a cardiac contusion that puts you in cardiac shock, sending you into ventricular fibrillation, otherwise known as VFib. And this is an electrical pulse that doesn't allow the heart to fully contract. And this is what ends up happening, where the blood and the nutrients and oxygen can't get to where it needs to go, resulting in a collapse. And this is what happens. So this is where the medical staff needs to implement CPR and an AED at the time to basically revive him from this fatal arrhythmia or electrical beat, which is what this is. So
in order for commotio cordis to happen, you have to suffer this blunt chest trauma at exactly the right moment, which is really within milliseconds of a time window. This is a rhythm strip that shows one cycle of the heart squeezing, and you have about 72 of these a minute on average. So you have the P waves where the atriums contract, you have this QRS complex, that is where your ventricles contract, and then subsequently you have this T wave, which is, we call it ventricular repolarization. That's when the ventricles are resetting. The player would have to have chest trauma at this specific moment to be sent into arrhythmia.
A couple of other scenarios that could be, you're wondering about a C2, C3, C4 injury or contusion. We're taught that in medical school. C2, 3, 4 keeps the diaphragm alive, basically. And I don't think that's really the injury, because he's able to get up from that. If that was an injury from a C-spine standpoint, he wouldn't have been able to get up on his own accord. The other thing you want to make sure about here is whether or not he had any underlying arrhythmias and something like that, or any other underlying cardiac issues that might have played a role into this. But at this point, it's hard to really say what the prognosis is. This is where you look at from a cardiac workup standpoint, and we kind of go from there. There's really no timetable from a return standpoint until he gets a full cardiac workup.
Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your questions below. Thanks, guys.